Hi everyone, I'm Lazy Cat Lady. I usually do Sultai Time Civ leagues, but today I wanted to branch out and show y'all another one of my favorite pet decks. Um, I first saw this deck, I think, from Aspiring Spike, and since then I've just kind of been following, card releases and seeing if anything got added to the archetype. So I'm trying this out again. I haven't played this in a while, but it got some new additions from the past couple sets. So I wanted to give it another run and kind of show this off because I think it's really fun. It's a bit of a glass cannon-y type deck. Um, uh, Basically, the deck is, well, it's Azorius Resurgent Belief. So if you're not familiar with this deck, there's the card Resurgent Belief. Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. It is a suspend card, but with the card as foretold, you can just cast it for 0 mana using that card. The other nice thing is it's only suspend 2, and for only 2 mana. So you can actually just very easily suspend this card, unlike most of the other cards you see in like Cascade decks. So there's a lot of really big payoff enchantment cards in this deck. Lay Claims let you control an enchanted permanent, so you can just steal your opponent's lands or threats. Shark Typhoon, of course, also has cycling, so you can easily get it in your graveyard to reanimate it with Resurgent Belief. You can use that to make yourself blockers, to last longer in the game. You can trade with a Ragavan for 3 mana. Cast Out also has cycling and just allows you to exile a non-land permanent. And then Dress Down, doesn't have cycling, but it goes to the graveyard at the end step, and that's kind of just some light interaction to get you to the late games that you can resolve a really powerful Resurgent Belief. So the enchantments in this column are the main payoffs, Shark Typhoon and Lay Claim, I think, being the most important ones. And these all just very easily go to your graveyard. We also have some backup discard in case we just want to get multiple enchantment cards in the graveyard at once, so you have 4 copies of Faithful Mending, and the Life Gain also helps you get to that late game against aggressive decks. Especially with the flashback, you can just kind of dig through your library looking for whatever piece you need. As far as interaction, it's another really good addition to this deck, which, it wasn't Dominaria United, but I haven't played with this deck since then, is the Leyline Binding. So I just tweaked the mana base a little bit. It's still just a 2-color deck, but having the extra 3 basic land types gives you 1 mana, exile with flash, and if your opponents destroy it, you can just reanimate it back with Resurgent Belief. This is a huge upgrade because this deck used to kind of want to run On Thin Ice or Prismatic Ending, and both of those are kind of, On Thin Ice only hitting creatures, and Prismatic Ending really soaking up a lot of mana, and this deck is kind of mana hungry, so Leyline Binding both being an enchantment, and being able to do it on your opponent's turn. Another nice thing with this is if you get a Shark Typhoon back, Leyline Binding gets you a 6/6, which is huge. Is way better than getting a 1/1 off of On Thin Ice or Prismatic Ending. So those also can get reanimated from your graveyard with Resurgent Belief, and then I play 4 Reprieve, 4 Counterspell as the rest of the interaction suite. So the nice part about this deck is you can kind of just play sort of a control or tempo game with your opponent until you get a chance to resolve a Resurgent Belief. Dress Down buys you time. You can even just cast your cast outs, and of course Leyline Bindings to get you to the late game. Reprieve, just buys you some time and digs. The other piece that I added to this is the deck is pretty threat light. You have Kahira as a companion in the board, which definitely helps, but apart from that, it's pretty much just Shark Typhoon, making the sharks with cycling or getting it back from your graveyard and then making sharks off of casting spells. So I also added 1 copy of Starfield of Nyx, which at the beginning of your upkeep you get to return an enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield, so it kind of works as an extra effect of Resurgent Belief, getting enchantments back from your graveyard, and also as long as you control 5 or more enchantments, it turns your non-aura ones into creatures with power and toughness equal to their mana value. So, you know, even if your opponent is able to, you know, exile your graveyard or counter your Resurgent Belief, if you can stick a Starfield of Nyx and then maybe have some Leyline Bindings or some cast outs in play, you can turn this into a threat to end the game pretty quickly. That's pretty much the entire main deck. I will just note that in the mana base there is one Teleria West, which acts as a tutor for Resurgent Belief. And in Otawara as another tech land. Apart from that, it's a pretty standard fetch mana base with 2 Triomes and some shock lands to give you all the basic land types for Leyline Binding. There's also 2 Mystic Gates. Those are really important to be able to cast Counterspell on turn 2 in addition to some of your other spells. So that's the main deck. It's so fun to reanimate multiple like Lay Claims or Shark Typhoons, you know, by turn 3 or 4, and then you can take over the game. Especially game 1, most players don't have Graveyard Hate. So that's the main deck. For the sideboard, this is definitely a work in progress. So you know, this is not a very tuned sideboard since I'm really just starting to test in the meta with this deck, but we've got Unlicensed Hearse and Stone of Erek as our grave hate. You can bring in Stone of Erek against Yawgmoth. Unlicensed Hearse is also nice because it gives you repeatable graveyard hate, but also it's pretty easy to crew with a Shark token or your Kahira. So this also is, you know, kind of an attempt to expand the threat base of the deck when you're bringing stuff in against graveyard decks. March of Otherworldly Light, they're really for hammer, but you know, the deck doesn't really have any 1 mana removal spells. Like Leyline Binding, yes, but you can't have 5 land types until turn 2, so this is just for matchups where you need a little bit more exile-based stuff. It's also nice against Saga. Flusterstorm is to bring in against, you know, control, but mainly the Cascade matchups. Got Hallowed Moonlight for creativity. This also works pretty well against some other decks, you know, bring these in against like Living End also. I got 3 Spreading Seas. You can bring these in against some Saga decks, depending, but they're really meant for Coffers and Tron. And then I just kind of have a catch-all Supreme Verdict to bring in against, you know, Murktide or even Rakdos, just to have a sweeper to be able to reset and make it to the late game. But yeah, so that's the deck. No creatures whatsoever, so you always get Kahira as your companion. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start up a league, and I'll try to talk through the deck a little bit. I'm not as familiar with this one as Soul Time Civ, but I do love playing this deck, so I wanted to show it off. Okay, match 1. We are on the draw. Okay. Opponent has Yagantha, so it could be Tron, it could be could be Death Shadow or something. Okay, so we got As Foretold, Resurgent Belief, and we got Dress Down, Cast Out. This seems like a pretty great hand. You know, light interaction with Dress Down, you get a Cycler so we can dig a little bit, and we got the payoff cards, so I'm going to keep this hand. We got the Strand. We'll probably play... Oh, it depends. Oh, okay, alright, so we are up against Tron. So the Dress Down won't necessarily matter. It'll be pretty important to interact early here. Our life total doesn't super matter, so here I'm going to just start on the Hallowed Fountain. We're going to want to cycle Cast Out on their end step. Alright, will my opponent have turn 3 Tron? Alright, well there's the Mine. Alright, they play the Mine Sphere. Okay. Hopefully we can hit like a reprieve or a counter spell, or perfect, right there, counter spell. So I want to save the fetch to get a Triome, to get another 2 types. So I'd rather just play the other Hallowed Fountain here. We don't have a ley claim yet. Not a ley claim. We don't have a leyline binding yet, so we don't need the land types. So I just want to hold up counterspell in case they have a 7 mana Haymaker here. Oh, interesting. Another nice thing about this deck is you really just get to hold up mana, and here I am definitely countering that though. That is super important to counter that. I'd much rather have them not have Tron. Alright. They can still draw naturally, but they only got 2 cards in hand. Alright, we drew Starfield. What do I want to do here? Probably want to play Strand, pass. We can either cycle Shark Typhoon or run the Dress Down out. Probably what I want to do is cycle Shark Typhoon end step and then untap As Foretold, Resurgent Belief, get back Cast Out and Shark Typhoon. Alright, another Scrying. Even if I draw into something, I'm not going to be able to hit an interaction piece. So I just gotta let this resolve. Well, not a counter interaction piece. Alright, they got the power plant. You got 5 mana, 3 cards in hand. I would think you would buy Yagantha if you're not doing anything here, but that's interesting. Alright, I'm gonna fetch first. I want to get... We have a basic plane, so I'm going to get the Xander's Lounge since that doesn't have white in it. And then I want to cycle Shark Typhoon. That's the most powerful enchantment, so I want to get that in the graveyard first. Draw another Cast Out. Now, unfortunately, they don't have any non-land permanents right now that we really care about. So I could keep going, but if they have like a Karn next turn, we could be in really big trouble if they just get graveyard hate, assuming they actually know what's happening here. So I think here we're just gonna go for the As Foretold. So let's go Mystic Gate, As Foretold, cast Resurgent Belief. I just want to get this Shark Typhoon in play. Now I can get threats on the board. Counter target sorcery spell. Okay, I probably should have seen the Warping Whale coming. Next turn we can Starfield of Nyx, hopefully. Wow, do they have a lot of mana? Is it a Karn? It is a Karn. Thankfully, Karn doesn't really shut anything down in this deck, because we don't have any artifacts, but it's still a powerful card, which makes me wonder if I just hold the Cast Out so that I can exile the Karn next turn. I might have to, so I'm going to wait. I don't want to cycle it on the end step. Okay, they got Chalice. They'll probably just Chalice on 0. Yeah. That doesn't really matter. We'll be able to get rid of that, but Chromatic Sphere. All right, they're empty-handed. They'll have 1 draw with the sphere. All right, what you got? If they're not casting the card, I would assume you buy Yagantha. Okay, they forgot to pay their mana for the Blast Zone. Okay. They were probably trying to tick it up to get rid of the As Foretold. Okay, well, they're still not buying Yagantha, which is suspicious to me. But I just want to get the Tron off the board. Okay. Alright, draw. Shark Typhoon. Okay. I won't be able to do that this turn, but I want to... I'm going to exile the Karn in their upkeep. So let's pass. And the nice thing about As Foretold sticking around is next turn I'll just be able to dress down for free, which is super cool. Alright, let's get rid of your Karn. Much more worried about Karn at the moment than Chalice. It's okay if I can't reanimate stuff immediately. I can find a Leyline Binding, I can find something to get the Chalice off the board. Alright, they hit the ring. That's pretty great for them. If they hit something important here, it might just be game over. Cityscape Leveler. Oh, they just get to exile the cast out? Oh, they're exiling the As Foretold. That's strange. Well, the Power Stone token doesn't do anything for me. I really need to be able to get the Cityscape Leveler out of play. Oh, I can just dress down next turn. Okay. So I can turn off its ability. It's when it attacks. Okay, so we'll do it in combat. Okay. Well, we're not in a great position, but we could still manage to pull ourselves out of this. Now they are going to draw a bunch of cards, which is the real problem. Alright, beginning of combat, let's show you the dress down. Okay, they still get the 8 damage in, so we do still need to find... Ooh, Resurgent Belief. Okay, now we got to get that Chalice off the board. Alright, you go up to 3 cards. Okay, please cast a spell. I would love to reprieve it. Okay. Well, they do have the Tron. I just need to draw cards, though, so... Gotta find a Leyline Binding, a Cast Out, something. Alright, recast your Karn. Alright. Now I can just yield. Got nothing else to do. Okay, what are you grabbing with Tron? I mean, they'll probably just get Graveyard Hate here, so I'm probably... It's probably game over. We'll play it out. As far as our sideboard goes, we got our Trinisphere. Interesting. Expedition map. Trinisphere? Okay, they got no cards in hand. They're cracking the map. What you getting? Seiju. Okay, they don't have green mana right now. Okay, I got a counter spell. I think it might be a little too late. This says trample. And I don't have 5 enchantments to turn on Starfield. I don't know, I think I'll just take a draw. Let's fetch first, get the other basic planes, and then just take a draw with Shark Typhoon and see what we see. Another Shark Typhoon. I still don't think I can draw anything here. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough mana to get rid of everything, but... Might as well dig, see what we see. Okay. And the 2 life doesn't get me past the 8, so that's a concession. Okay. Sideboarding against Tron, we definitely want the Spreading Seas. We probably want the Marches, just to have a bit more interaction. You know, you can march Chalice and so forth. I'm not sure we need Starfield of Nyx in this matchup, and the dress downs are pretty pitiful. with really no creature targets. So I think I'll cut like this. I want to leave as much interaction as I can in. The ley claims are incredibly strong. Leyline bindings will be good. Let's cut a cast out, and I could either cut an As Foretold and just plan on suspending Resurgent Belief, but I think I'd rather cast it off of As Foretold in this matchup. So let's just bin another cast out. Call it a day. Yes, I'd love to be on the play. Alright, well this hand has ley claims and counter spells, so I think it's a keep. We can fetch the Grixis Triome here turn 1 and then have double blue up moving forward, and also have 4 colors of mana, so we can cast Binding for 2. Eventually we might hit... okay, I can turn off this stop. Okay, Chromatic Star, yield until the end step. Alright, like we said, Grixis Triome, untap. Let's shock. Okay, now we could just Spreading Seas now. Their turn 2 play, I mean, they might do a, what do you call it? They might go for a Sylvan Scrying. Maybe I would rather counter Sylvan Scrying. I can always cycle Ley Claim and Spreading Seas next turn, so I'll just pass the turn. Got a couple really good pieces of interaction, so... Ooh, and they have the Forest. Wow, okay. So now I just want to watch out for Graveyard Hate. Alright, nice. Hit our 3rd land. I think I still just want to leave up Counterspell here, given that they're not hitting Tron anytime soon. I don't think I need to lead on the Spreading Seas. So I'm just going to go Basic Plains, pass. Hitting the Mystic Gate is great too. Our mana is basically perfect. I wonder why they kept this hand. Not sure. Probably has something in it. End step will cycle probably Shark Typhoon and make a 1/1. If they don't do anything of importance here that we want to counterspell. Ancient Stirrings. Do I care enough about this? I think the answer is no. I'd rather counter whatever they get off of this if it's a Haymaker. And we have interaction for this. So, heal until the end step. Let's cash in this Shark Typhoon and start getting a little bit of damage in. Another Shark Typhoon. Reprieve, that's pretty sweet. Okay. Alright, let's play the gate. Let's Spreading Seas and hold up Counterspell / Reprieve. Let's seize the tower. They hit that off the Stirrings, and that's the more important one. Okay. The other nice thing is they have to kind of, if they want to get that off their land, they got to destroy it. You know, maybe they Besage it, and then you get to reanimate it with your Resurgent Beliefs. Unless they exile it with like a Haywire Might or something. But I'm feeling in a pretty strong position here with all this interaction and payoff cards. Don't care about that. Alright, double mine. Really glad I hit the tower. Relic. Yeah, I think this is counter. You just gotta counter this. I can't reprieve it. Hopefully it's their only one in hand. Looks like it is. Alright, so we successfully have dodged Graveyard Hate. Probably getting a... Nah, it doesn't really matter. I can shock. I'll play the Windswept Heath. Alright. Now we get to hold up double interaction pieces. Then if they don't do anything, we can make a shark on the end step, which is pretty sweet. do have a blast zone. Nothing particularly important. Very cool. Okay. Still seem to have not much of any interaction, so I just want the biggest shark I can get here. Let's get our breeding pool. Cycle Shark Typhoon. Make it 3/3. And this is where Shark Typhoon is literally like the entire threat base of the deck, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And I love shark tokens. Okay. Now we might even just be able to just, you know, if we hit another land, we can just cast Lay Claim, which at this stage of the game might be what we want to do. See, they got 5 mana right now. And they tap their blast zone, so they're not even trying to blow anything up. Nice that they can't hit the tokens here. Oblivion Stone. I don't like the look of that. And they can't recast it this turn, so I'm just going to lead on the Reprieve. Ooh, another Spreading Seas. Here, because they have the double mine, I think we Spreading Seas the Blast Zone. I guess we could also just hold it for when they hit their next Tron land. Okay, there's the Oblivion Stone, and guess what? We have the Counterspell. You know what? Oh, it won't matter. Counter it. Alright. Let's go ahead, get the other basic, and I think here, maybe I want to hold on to the Lay Claim. Let's take a look at a couple extra cards. Ooh, there's the Resurgent Belief. Alright, let's bin land and the other Mending, since we don't really need it. You got 5 cards in hand. Alright, let's get in with the Sharks. Here's where I probably just want to suspend Resurgent Belief. Or I guess I could also Lay Claim something. I think I just want to suspend Resurgent Belief. Put the clock ticking, and then they can't hit Tron next turn. They can't blow up anything important with Blast Zone. So I think here I just pass the turn. They also don't have enough mana even after hitting a land to cast an Oblivion Stone and actually blow up everything. The One Ring. It's kind of problematic. Here, I think I will... Well, I could steal their ring next turn. So maybe I do just let this resolve. I don't mind taking 1 turn off. Ancient Stirrings. Let's see what they get. Urza's Tower. Okay, so they have a backup tower. Now we kind of need to Spreading Seas the other tower. Alright, we can't attack with the Sharks. Okay, 1 more turn. Alright, let's go do... Could just steal the other tower. That's okay. Let's get a basic island. I am kind of worrying about Tron, but I could also steal their ring, which might also be important. 2 looks at Graveyard Hate. I think I'd rather, like, can they just cast their Haymakers anyway? But it gives them so much mana. I gotta do this. I can flashback Faithful Mending and dig for a counterspell. Oh, never mind. Hit the counterspell. Alright, they got protection, no attacks, and hopefully they just don't hit anything really strong in the next couple draws off the ring. Alright, map. Does that matter? Nope. shouldn't. I don't think they have a graveyard hate land. So pretty much here it's counter graveyard hate and nothing else. What did they get here? Power plant. Okay. They got Tron online, but, well, it's not online. They have all the lands for it, but I have their towers turned off, which is wonderful. Alright. Okay, if you're just going to do that, I'm going to cycle Lay Claim. And hopefully untap and resolve this Resurgent Belief. Gotta wait till I cast it. Create a 1/1 creature token. Okay, I think they misclicked there. Unfortunate, but I do have the counter for it anyway, so. Now I can respond here with Leyline Binding and they draw one fewer cards, but casting it afterwards gets me triggers. And I'm probably just gonna steal the ring anyway, so, you know, draw away. Cast. This is going to be a good Resurgent Belief. And there we go. You know, sometimes you don't even get to have the fun. They just counter it. Okay, so we did see the Warping Whales for them. I think this is a pretty good board. I liked how my hands felt that second match, or second game. So yeah, let's just go ahead and resubmit. Alright. Gotta cast out double Resurgent Belief, counter spell. It's kind of a slow hand. Not a lot of payoffs, but we do have a draw with the cast out. They're mulliganing. I think I'd rather mulligan this and find a little bit more interaction or payoff. Okay, Spreading Seas, March. This all looks good. Let's keep here. We don't have a use for the As Foretold as of right now, so I think I bottom this. I wanna have enough lands to cast some of our bigger spells. So let's do that. All right, they're mulliganing to 5. Okay, all right, they got 5. Relic. Okay, we got the March for the Relic for turn 2, which is great. I'm going to want to get a Triumph. We're going to get Grixis Triumph. Oh, no, we want double blue. Oh, we have a Mystic Gate. Yeah. Okay. We're going to get Grixis Triumph, and then to hold up Counterspell for turn 2, we can just play the Mystic Gate. And this is why Mystic Gate is so cool. Love Mystic Gate. Oh my goodness. Well, looks like they had to keep a 1-lander. This bodes well for us. Okay, I will exile the fetch land. That does not matter. Xander's Lounge. Now here I could exile their Chromatic Star to cut them off the extra draw, but they also have the draw from Relic. I think here we just go Mystic Gate, pass. I can march the Relic. Okay, but I might counter it. If they have Ancient Stirrings, I'm definitely countering that. Expedition Map. Now they don't have the second mana for this yet. So it's tricky. Definitely tricky. But once they draw a land, this is going to be super important. So I think maybe I just counter this. I want to keep them from getting lands in as many ways as possible. Okay. Gladly, I'll exile the counterspell. Okay, now we're definitely going to want to march that Relic. So that's what I plan to do. And then we can start cycling our other important stuff. But they might just crack it for a card here and beat us to it. Okay, they're not. And I don't want to lose this Shark Typhoon, so we're going to march, hit you, cast, white, colorless, done. Now they'll probably just draw. Yes, there we go. All right. Cast out. Okay, so now here I'll start interacting. Let's take this off the board. See what we draw. As foretold. Okay, so now we just have to find a Resurgent Belief or a Talaria West. And we can probably reanimate Lake Claim Shark Typhoon. So I'm going to rush for the Lake Claim. Alright, they hit their second land, so I'm glad I got that map out of play. Lake Claim is more important. Let's cycle that. Another Lake Claim. Yeah, here I think I'll want to cycle Lake Claim. I can also hold up Cast Out if I really need to cast it here. I don't know what they're going to play. Chromatic Star. Yeah, can't do anything about that. Okay, that's a backup tower. So now they can hit the third land. Alright, cycle. Oh, there's the Resurgent Belief. The cast out, again, the cast out isn't going to matter because they're going to crack Chromatic Star anyway in response to it. So now I can get a 1/1, and then I can untap and reanimate 2 Lake Claims, assuming they don't have Warping Whale. Okay, let's go to combat first. I do not really feel like playing around Warping Whale, and this is so powerful here, so let's get a basic Plains. Let's cast As Foretold. Let's cast Resurgent Belief. Does it resolve? No, they've got the Warping Whale. Well, I could cycle Cast Out now to try to hit a counter spell off the top. It's probably worth it. I'll cycle it. Counterspell or Reprieve? No. Okay. Leyline Binding's good. Alright. Again, we still have to dodge Graveyard Hate again. Unfortunately, I guess they must play like 4 Warping Whales. It's interesting. Okay. I've got Leyline Binding up for any kind of weird shenanigans with Planeswalkers or the Ring. Alright, they got a Boseiju. That's unfortunate. I want to remember about that. Okay, but they play it. Sylvan Scrying. Alright. Alright, Tron is on next turn, which is scary. And I'm kind of out of resources, which is rather unfortunate. I guess maybe I should have waited on it, but I really didn't think they had a... I really didn't think they would have the Warping Whale. Faithful Mending. Alright, let's Mending first. See if we hit something of importance. We don't. Now we can just hold up Mending plus Leyline Binding. I guess I could flashback Mending here and dig for something. I don't think I'm going to need 2 Leyline Bindings next turn, so... we don't need the other As Foretold, don't need basic Plains. Alright. We are in the Resurgent Belief. waiting room. Alright, there's the plant. Alright, you got 9 mana. Eight. Is it Ugin? Ugin. Okay, they did it for 3. So now I can binding this, but considering I don't have anything else to do with my mana, I think I will probably just wait until next turn, because if I hit a Resurgent Belief, I'm probably going to want to lay claim the Ugin. Where's his power plant? They already played that one. Okay, they have a backup power plant. Reprieve. Okay, well I can't have them having Ugin, so we're just gonna binding now. Hope you don't have too many more payoffs. I can reprieve one really large spell. And unfortunately Ugin exiles, so we don't get the Spreading Seas back in our graveyard. Okay. Oof. Do I even want to reprieve that? Okay, exile these two. Now I will be able to binding the Ugin with the creature spell on the stack. I can't imagine reprieving this is correct. But I need to be able to binding... I don't want them to be able to cast this again and exile another 2 permanents. Maybe I need the card though. I think I really just need to find... I need to find Resurgent Belief, and as foretold, I guess. Okay, now you're exiling these 2. Oh, I should have let this resolve first. That's on me. Now they will get to activate the Ugin, but we just gotta say okay. Alright, put me to 17. Now they will get to exile, and here again, if I top deck as foretold, I would rather gain control of the Ugin. Reprieve. Sheesh. Alright, we can reprieve plus binding. So let's go suspend Resurgent Belief. Alright, we gotta survive. We gotta survive 2 turns. This time I need to be able to binding the Ulamog. They're gonna take another 2 of my lands. Oh my goodness, they have so much mana. I mean, I honestly can't believe I'm still alive, so, We'll just have to reprieve something else. Okay. Yeah, we just gotta say yeah. Three damage doesn't matter too much here, which is good. Okay, they're not casting anything else, so here I can just safely binding. Oh, it costs more because they got rid of my basic lands. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, well then maybe we're just dead. Shark Typhoon. So this costs how much? Oh, it costs 3. Okay, I think I just gotta exile Ulamog. They could tick down, but it still won't be able to attack. And then next turn we can lay claim the Ugin. Oh, they can -10. 7 permanent cards. Actually, I might have to exile the Ugin right now before they -10. So here we'll go to 4, lose the top 20 cards, but we'll get so much value. Okay. We just gotta do this now. Exile the Ugin. Yield to this turn. I guess I should have done this in their upkeep, but, you know. Okay, I got nothing to do. Let's yield through the turn. And this way I can actually gain control of the Ulamog. So, alright, there goes, I got 12 cards left in the library, which means I gotta kind of rush if I want to beat them. I'm, you know, a little bit down on clock. Alright, go to 4. You got 4 cards left in hand. It's rather unfortunate I couldn't hold up the reprieve here too to stop some other really big spell, but I don't need any lands, you know, theoretically moving forward. Okay, Worm Coil. I'm just gonna have to steal all their threats. Okay. Do I want to cycle the Shark Typhoon? I feel like I want to actually hold up Reprieve to stop some nonsense from happening. Let's do that instead. Cast. They only got 1 card in hand. What is it? Stop! It is not another Warping Whale. Well, I can reprieve it, but I mean, jeez. They just get to recast it. And if this game was going to go longer, I could reprieve my own Resurgent belief, but as it stands, this is GG's. Recast it. Alright. Okay. Well, lost 1-2 against Tron. It was definitely a tough second game. All those Warping Whales, really, I guess I don't play a lot against Tron, or maybe I just don't with decks that Warping Whale is good against, so I was not expecting all of those. I guess it makes sense with Cascade lying around. So yeah, probably could use some more sideboard slots for the Tron matchup. It didn't feel terrible. I mean, probably should have brought in, honestly, just a couple more Fluster Storms and Counter Magic to protect resolving, you know, my spells. So, you know, maybe next time I'll do that. But apart from that, I think it went pretty much okay. Okay. Match 2, we're on the play. Looks like they have a companion as well. Hopefully it's not Tron again. Okay, well it could be Tron. We do have the Mending to loot away some lands, but there's really not much going on in this hand, even with the counter magic. Well, I guess we get Mending twice. Maybe we'll try it. We'll draw into action, you know. Why wouldn't we? Okay, we have the Breeding Pool, which makes Mardu Triome the fetch we want, because that'll give us perfect 5 color types for binding. So, no turn 1 play anyway. Oh no. Well, today's going to be a Tron day. That's so exciting. Might dress down first before Mending, but can't counterspell unfortunately here, which I maybe should have thought about, but they're going to have Tron online. So let's do dress down first. It's nice to get your card draws in first, the ones that replace themselves before you cast your mending, to make sure to get everything you can out of it. We got a Typhoon. Probably we'll just have to be counterspelling something, so let's do Hallowed Fountain Pass. Now we can still counter if they have a 7 mana. Oh, they weren't able to crack it. Okay, well we're not in trouble yet, which means we'll probably we might Mending, we might cycle Shark Typhoon. Right, they got the Mine. Next turn they got Tron online. I think we will just cycle Shark Typhoon, get ourselves a little 1/1 baby shark. There's the Lay Claim. Okay, now we need to find, probably want to loot away the Flooded Strand, so let's just go Mystic Gate, pass. We can Mending plus Counterspell, or Counterspell plus cycle Lay Claim. 10 mana. Hopefully it's not Ulamog. Oh, no, not 10 mana. 9 mana. Karn. I mean, I'm countering Karn. Have another Karn. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. The One Ring. Screams in Agony. I don't have exile removal for it, so I can't exile in response to the card draw. Let's cycle that Lay Claim. Alright, we got to cast out. Probably need to... unfortunate. We're going to have to do this next turn, because I'm... Oh, that's right, they don't have... they got protection. Let's play basic Plains. I want to cast out the ring in response to the card draw, and then they won't get the card. Cast. Because it has 0 counters on it right now, and it remembers its state from when it was last on the battlefield. So no cards for you, and no future cards. So just want to cut them off resources here. Karn liberated. Unfortunate. Well, now they can just exile the cast out. Makes sense. Just yield to the turn. They'll probably just take over this game, unless we top deck a as foretold here. Alright, they got Yagantha in hand. I can put the Karn down to 2. I could Mending first, see if I hit, and that's what we're gonna do. Let's go Mending first. See if we find As Foretold. We don't, but double Leyline Binding is huge. Let's go... So that means I need 3 white, so we'll bin here, here, play here. Let's go get the other basic Plains, suspend Resurgent Belief, and then Binding the ring, Binding the Karn. And hope we can resolve this Resurgent Belief before they destroy our battlefield. Or before they exile our graveyard. Right, Oblivion Stone. I mean, that's a problem, but Lay Claim doesn't trigger. Oh, they're just going to destroy now. That makes way more sense. Alright, they'll probably exile one of my lands. Now again, the lands don't really matter if I can resolve the Resurgent Belief, and now that they have those 2 back, I'm just going to Lay Claim probably the Karn Liberated. But we got to get to that point first. Here most likely we're just going to buy Yagantha Another Resurgent Belief. I'm sorry, not Yagantha. We could hold the Mending. I'd rather have an extra card in my hand because the Karn's probably going to tick up. I'd rather hold on to this extra. I'd rather hold on to the extra Resurgent Belief here. I guess I could have suspended it then. Interesting, they didn't draw a card. That's weird. Alright, 5 cards in hand. 6. Because now they kind of have to just dig for a Warping Whale. And I'll be so sad if this is match 2 and we just have to get Warping Whaled a bunch of times again. That'll be unfortunate. They might even, I wonder if they'll just cash in the Karn here to exile another land, knowing that, and if I see them do that, I'll think that they don't have the Warping Whale, because they just don't want me to have the Karn. So, we'll see. So we'll get back bindings. Okay, they tick up. That's probably scary. And again, I probably should have just suspended Resurgent Belief last turn, in case they do hit a Warping Whale this turn. 2 Leyline bindings, a Ley Claim, a Shark Typhoon, and a Dress Down. Another Oblivion Stone. Well, this is going to force us, if we do resolve it, it's going to force us to Ley Claim the Oblivion Stone to not get everything blown up. But that's okay. I don't mind having my own Oblivion Stone. Does it resolve? If they have the... Oh, wow, okay. Yep, so just take the Oblivion Stone and then exile Karn, exile the ring. Alright. Draw for turn. As foretold. I might just want to start putting fate counters on my stuff. I'm going to hold up a cast out, which means I don't want to cast the As Foretold. So let's just pass the turn. Alright, we know they got Yagantha in hand, so they've got Yagantha, and they're going to have 4 unknowns. All the mana you could ever want. Ugin. Oof. Ugin's just going to be able to -6. So I might have to look for a counter spell here. It's 1 or more colors. Yeah, they can just minus for 7 and get everything. I could theoretically blow everything up and then untap and Resurgent Belief in response to their uptick, and I think that's what I have to do. Yeah, because I can just As Foretold Resurgent Belief next turn, so let's let it resolve. Let's force them to try to -7 everything. Okay, they do. Let's do this. Save our stuff from getting exiled. Now, this does give them their Karn back, which is not good, but I think I'm not winning that game if I do anything else. Thankfully, we have the extra card. Okay. Can we still fight through this? This has been some really weird games against Tron. But now they don't have the, if I can resolve the Resurgent Belief, they no longer have... Oh boy, what do they have? Are they just casting Yagantha? Oh, okay. Well, I know one of their cards. Okay. As Foretold. Wait. Undo that. Please, please, please. Okay, let's steal their Karn. And then we can exile Ugantha and the One Ring. We can make them exile a card from their hand, and I think that's much more important at the moment, so let's make you exile. Good thing the ring doesn't trigger when it enters the battlefield if you didn't cast it. Okay, I still got one Leyline Binding. They exiled Gemstone Caverns. Alright, let's pass the turn. Now we can start making some big old sharks. So hopefully this has turned the tide in this game. This would be a wild game to win. You know, again, Tron is really strong, but if you get to steal their threats, it can just be, you know, so powerful. And here again, we can binding in response to the card draw. So even if they pass the turn here, I'm just gonna... Alright, they go for it. I am happy to... Oh, I didn't realize I lost a land type. Good thing I could cast that. I'm happy to make a 6/6 and stop you from drawing a card. Down to one card. Did they already play their... Okay, they did play Urza's Tower. Alright. No cards for you. What's your last card? I would like to know. Sylvan Scrying. Maybe they get Blast Zone? They already played their land for turn, so I can just tick up and exile with Karn. And I really don't want to restart the game here because of our clocks. What'd they get? The Seiju. Alright, they don't have green mana. So let's... Oh, they have protections. They get to keep the Beseiju. That makes me want to exile their forest. So that's what we'll do. And now we can hold up the cast out. Oh, that's right. Whoops. Forgot about the protection, but in this case it doesn't matter. Alright, they do have the Beseiju up now. So what do they hit? The Lay Claim to get their Karn back. And again, cast out can only exile permanents an opponent controls. So I just gotta let this happen, unfortunately. Yes, I'll go searching. Get the Temple Garden. No. I mean, they can make me exile a card from my hand, but I am just going to cast out. Or I guess you could exile, what, like the Leyline Binding? Get your ring back? I'm not sure which is more important. Okay, you make me exile from my hand. That's fine. I will gladly do that. Now they lost to Beseiju. Alright, no cards in hand. I get to exile their Karn again. Make a 4/4. Okay. Alright, let's close this game out. Shark Typhoon, pretty good draw. I can just make a shark if I need to, but we got lethal on the crackback. So they have to draw something. I don't even know what they draw here. Alright. Okay. So like last time, let's bring in the Marches. Spreading Seas. Maybe one Flusterstorm. It's so strange to me to bring in a Flusterstorm when they have almost no instant sorceries. I guess one might be okay. They do have Sylvan Scrying. I don't know. I think that's a weird bring in. I think we just have to fade the yeah. Okay, so last time we cut 2 cast outs. I feel like this time I should be cutting just 1 and something else. I really like Reprieve against them, so maybe we cut a Mending. Let's cut a Mending. Let's try that. We don't really need the life in this matchup, and most of our stuff cycles, so we'll try this instead. This is very experimental, obviously. Alright, we got the Spreading Seas and a counter spell. I think this is pretty keepable, and they're mulliganing. So do we want Grixis? We definitely want to be able to have counterspell. So I think I fetch Grixis Triumph turn 1 with the Flooded Strand, and then I can just wait on the Temple Garden. But we'll still have access to all 5 colors with Strand, Temple Garden. Alright, Chromatic Sphere, better than seeing an Expedition map. Strand go. Oh, I should have played. Oh no, Windswept Heath can't fetch the Grixis Triumph. Mana base is really funky with all the colors. Casting Ancient Stirrings. Oh, just another sphere. All right, they got the power plant and the mine. There's the stirrings. All right. Okay, they got a relic. That's pretty bad for us. We might have to counter that. That's one of their most important cards against us. Yet. And because of that, I think I have to just hold up Counterspell instead of Spreading Seas here. So let's do... Go ahead. That's what I'm most afraid of. If they have Tron here, I'll be able to turn it off next turn. But I really don't want to see this relic land. Look, okay, they don't have immediate Tron in hand. All right, there's the relic. I do not want to see the relic. Bye-bye, relic. Interesting. They don't have a third land. All right, all right. Let's capitalize on this. Which one of these did they hit? Oh, they didn't hit anything off of the stirrings. I think I just want to, you know, I don't think it matters which one I hit. So let's draw first and see if we hit like a cast out we want to cycle. And otherwise I'll probably play this Triumph. Actually, I shouldn't play the Triumph because we could cash it in later for a card and we're kind of running out of resources. So I want to thin the deck as much as possible. So let's fetch some shock land tapped on our end step. Okay, dealt with the relic. What's next? So now they have to hit a tower and a power plant before they get Tron back online. Alright, well there's the first one. There's the first piece. There's the tower. And the map. Alright, so they got Tron next turn. Hopefully we can draw some form of interaction. I could bounce the map just to buy time, but I think here I just need to dig for stuff. Alright. Probably just cycle our Shark Typhoons. Why aren't they cracking map right now? Weird. Okay. I want a 2/2. I want to start putting pressure. So they're just going to crack the map on the end step. Binding. Okay, I got Reprieve. That's good. Oh, I forgot to play a land. Dang it. Alright, well they're getting a backup power plant. And I am being sad that I forgot to get my land drop. Alright, they got 8 mana. Karn. Now I can handle Karn. Yeah, I'd rather just force them to spend the extra mana here. They can recast it, but then I can exile it with Leyline Binding. What do you look for? Well, actually, if they tick down, I can just put it to 1. Something to think about. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would get here. Obviously, I don't play Karn decks, so I don't have to. Because if they get, like, the Stone Brain... No, but they'll just be able to activate it, and that's part of the problem. So, hopefully they get something else here, and I can take the Karn off the battlefield. Like, if they get a Liquid Metal Coating, you know, easy exile Karn. They could get a Chalice. Okay, they got a Ring. That's tricky. Exile Karn or exile Ring? Well, here's my logic. They don't get to tick down to get another card off the Ring, so I think I want to keep the Binding around to deal with the Ring, since that just gives so many resources. Alright, we got the As Foretold. And in fact here, let's attack Karn. I don't need to cast As Foretold and show that piece of the puzzle off. So maybe let's play Delta, and we can cycle Savai Triome plus Binding the Ring. And then next turn I should be able to finish off the Karn with the Shark. That's the bet I'm making, that I'll be able to do that. Okay. Cast the Ring, alright. You can gain all the protection you would like. And I will exile it. No cards for you. And this is what just makes Leyline Binding again so powerful at being instant speed. They've got protection, but Karn does not, so we can still kill Karn. Let's thin the deck. Alright, we're pretty much out of fetchables. So hopefully we can draw into some action here. Can't cycle that. Alright, let's kill the Karn. And here I just want to make another Shark. I don't think I have any more fetchables left. Do I have a basic Plains? I think I have a basic Plains left. So again, I really just want to thin the deck as much as possible here. We can hold up Otawara and or Shark Typhoon. Four cards in hand. Real grind of a game versus them. Oh, dang. They'll get to blow up the Leyline Binding. I guess I could... Is this opponent controls? No. So in fact, I can bounce my Binding in response to this destruction. And I might do that to prevent them from getting this Ring activation again. Alright, they're just going to hold it up. So I have to at least have 4 mana available to be able to do that. So I can't cycle Shark Typhoon and make a Shark, so I'd rather just hold it, I think. It's just untap. Alright, Mystic Gate. Let's get in with the Shark. They might just hold on to the Oblivion Stone activation. And here I'm not going to bother playing any you know, more permanence into this Oblivion Stone activation. Okay, let's turn you to my hand. Blue, white, white, and blue. Alright, so now they can't, now it, well, it's indestructible, but alright, now you want to get the ring. Oh, so now if I play this again, it'll get destroyed again. So I do have to, I'll let the, you know, they get to have one card, but now destroy, and now I can binding. Alright, so they get the card anyway, but hopefully we have that shut down again. Alright, stirrings. And now we just want to, you know, I really want to make a shark off of this because I want to put a, I need to put a clock down, and they don't have a whole ton of creature removal. Ooh, found the relic. Dang. Alright, well the graveyard we've built up isn't going to do anything, which means I really want to wait till they crack the relic before I cycle this other Shark Typhoon, but they, you know, unless they're cracking it right now. Okay, they got Yagantha in hand, they're just going to hold on to the relic. So this could definitely become a problem. Well, it's already a problem. Okay, binding is good. Now we can binding the relic and at least have this Shark Typhoon in graveyard. And we can make a pretty big shark here. We can make a 5/5 shark. Let's exile Flooded Strand. Alright, 5 cards in hand. One of them is Yagantha. Karn Liberated. Probably just going to exile my Leyline Binding. Yep. Get your ring back, which probably means I have to spend the Leyline Binding to answer this ring again. It's unfortunate, but, you know, I'd love to be able to exile the relic, but the ring is just going to put them so far ahead in this game that it is a must answer. The Seiju, sheesh. So it doesn't get exiled. Okay, I don't have any more lands to get. Yeah, because in this case, because of how the clause works, this will never get exiled. So I could cycle the Shark Typhoon here for 3 and possibly hit a counter spell. Or not a counter spell, but oh, I guess I should have cycled first then. Might be able to hit another binding then. Let's go like that. We'll still be able to kill the Karn Liberated on our next combat. There's the Resurgent Belief, but again, they have the Relic. Okay, no exile, you draw a card. Now if they tap out from being able to activate Relic, that's a different story. That would be, if they did that, that would be great. I don't think they're going to. They could cast Yagantha here and block themselves out of it, but it looks like they opt for no, which is smart. Okay, let's see if we can kill this Karn Liberated. And I don't really need to suspend the Resurgent Belief. I don't want to show them that I have it in hand. We're just going to go Hallowed Fountain, no. Let's buy Kahira. And I don't have anything else to do or removal to hold up. So let's just cast Kahira. Pass the turn. Yeah, and unfortunately I don't have enough pressure on them that they absolutely need to crack this relic to prevent me from doing stuff. So, yeah, I'll have to find something else. Now this might be a situation where I'm just supposed to concede and we go to the next game. And I might do that depending on what they're getting here, because I'm in a pretty tough position. That destroys 5 lands. I'm going to concede here. We don't need to keep going. We got to have time to win the next match. Let's just resubmit. Got to rush through this, kind of. Alright, we want a fast hand. Got to be able to kill him in 9 minutes. And this is definitely a problem with this deck. You know, I haven't played a lot of leagues with it, but it does run very late. Late claims with a Resurgent Belief. That's a keep. Alright, they mulligan to 5. We're going to fetch basic planes, probably. Cycle Cast Out. This might be a position where we just suspend Resurgent Belief on turn 2, and then just cycle our lay claims. Hit another land. Faithful Mending. Yeah, I think here we do really just want to do that. So let's go Breeding Pool, suspend Resurgent Belief. Again, gotta be a fast. If they have the relic, they have the relic, but I need to be able to try to just win the game on the spot. I can't play a long game here. Dang, alright, well they got Tron online. Next turn. So I just gotta fade. Reprieve is huge here. And in my upkeep, I can just Faithful Mending to bin both of the lay claims, and then I can just take their lands. So we're pretty much reprieving whatever they cast here. Yep. Reprieve. See what we draw. March. Now I just gotta hope that they don't have the oh boy, okay, white, blue. We got a island, so let's do Sabai Triumph. Alright. Let's get you on this. Let's do that. Then let's cast Faithful Mending. Discard, claim. Please don't have the spell that I know you might have. If we can fade it here. Ooh, yes. Alright, take here, take mine or power plant. They had to search for the mine, I think, so let's take the mine. Alright, draw, play our land, pass the turn. Now we got Reprieve up, and probably we just want to make a big shark on the next turn because we need to pressure their life total as much as possible. Stirrings is, it's fine. I'd rather counter their plays. Okay, it's not tap. Play Marsh Flats, go ahead. Play your mine. Here I definitely want to reprieve that. Next end step. Let's go Fetch Shock, Hallowed Fountain, Cycle Shark Typhoon. Alright, let's get the pressure on. And again, let's Spreading Seas the mine. Pass. Oh, I should have played the Mystic Gate. That's okay. We got plenty of interaction up. Oblivion Stone. We do have permanence to just get rid of that, so I think I'd like to hold the counter spell. Okay, and in fact, I will use the March here. Cast. X is 3. Can exile you. Untap. Get in with our 3/3. And now I'm going to buy Yigantha. Buy Yigantha. Now if I cast it, I can't counter plus binding. I just need to put pressure on. I can have counterspell up. I think that's enough here. I just need to kill them as quick as possible. Alright, playing with a bit of a flurry here. Hopefully we can take down Tron the second time. Or, well, take down Tron on our second go. Drew a bunch of forests. What do we cast in here? The One Ring. And again, I can exile this with Leyline Binding in response to the draw. So, and it looks like they are thinking about that. They do have the protection, which is unfortunate. So yes. So let's just pass the turn. We're gonna cycle Xander's Lounge. Okay, now they don't have protection. Just trying to close this game. It's a 3-turn clock at the moment. Scrying, that's fine. They're still not close to Tron, so this isn't. I want to counter what actually matters. Where's his mines? They got another mine. What is this? Buy Yigantha. Alright, heal until the end step. Let's cycle you. Spreading Seas. Alright. Attack. Here I could just cast Lake Claim, but I don't think I want to. Instead, I'm just gonna turn off their mine again, and then pass with interaction. I'd rather Lake Claim if they resolve some kind of big threat. The One Ring. I don't want them to get protection this time because I'm trying to race. So I would like to counter that. Alright, sealed through. Another cast out. Good to have some more removal. I'm hoping they don't find another ring. Just pass the turn. Alright. We got a Fade 1 game-ending spell here. We got 5 minutes, so plenty of time to get in the last combat damage step if they can't find anything. If they cast like a Ugin here, we can just untap, Lake Claim it, tick up. So there's a lot of things here that just don't even matter, even if it is a Haymaker spell. Wow, this deck is wild. It would have been so fun. Ah, there we go. All right, got the win against Tron. It would have been so fun there to just steal the full Tron and get 3 Lake Claims. Yeah, that would have been wild. All right, well there we go. All right, we're 1-1. Okay, 1-1 right now. Looks like we're on the draw in our third game. Oh my goodness, third Yigantha. If this is just an all Tron league, this is going to be, whew, this is going to be a lot. I mean, having 3 cast outs with a 1-lander is maybe acceptable. We also get the extra draw. We got binding, counterspell, just I'll just keep, you know, we'll see what happens. We could get stuck on a land, but okay, it's not Tron. Okay, it's not Tron, everybody. All right, sweet, we hit the Otawara. That's awesome. Probably just fetch Hallowed Fountain. That's gonna be my guess. So it could be, it could be. With Flooded Strand, I don't think it's Grixis. It could be like Jeskai Breach. That's quite possible. Savai Triome. Okay. Maybe not, just Sky Breach. Could be Zoo. 5-color Zoo, maybe? Yes, I believe that's a yes. We do have some nice removal for this matchup, so... And Dress Down actually kills their... not this creature, but the other one. Alright, untap. Let's just play the Mystic Gate and pass. We can shut down the 4 damage with the Dress Down. And I think that's probably what I'll do. I just want to conserve my life total here. Because now it gets +0/+0. Now they can't play their other creature, the Territorial Kavu. Alright, they get the Tribal Flames. Okay, now I can hold up Reprieve plus Cycle Cast Out. Unfortunately, I didn't draw many other land types. It has Trample, so I don't want to just chump with a Shark, unfortunately. But let's see what else they got. I do need to find removal for this as quickly as possible. Alright, end step. Alright. Then in that case, I want as many draws as possible, which is Cycle Lay Claim, Cycle Cast Out. If we had a fetch land, we'll be able to exile this. Another counter spell, not exactly what we're looking for. Faithful Mending. We might just want a Mending here. We really need a land and it'll gain us some life, so let's do that. Really just want to hit a fetch land. Alright, draw 2. What do we find? Alright, there's the fetch land. Honestly, let's bin... Got 3 counter spells. Let's bin 1 counter spell and the other cast out, I think. Then we can play Heath, and now we can Binding exile their threat. So let's see what they do next. Now they got red. Oh, they got, well, they already had red mana. Now they got, no, they still are stuck on 4 lands, which is good. I definitely don't want to take this hit. I gotta be aware of dying to Tribal Flames, so we got blue-white. We need... Oh, can I even cast this if I get the Mardu Triumph? Then I would have white... Oh, no. I might actually have to take this hit. I don't want to fetch Shock here. Right, we'd have white, red, white. We'd have red, black, white, blue, red, black, white, blue. That's 4 types. Yeah. All right. Just gotta take it. Really hoping they don't have another big threat to put into play here. Wonderful. Okay. Excellent. Now we can get our Triome. Let's get that Savai Triome. Now we get to hold up Counter Magic plus Binding. Binding is for 2 mana. I need to hold up Interaction here, so we just gotta pass. I would love to be able to suspend Resurgent Belief, but we can wait. 7 cards in hand. They've got 6. Alright, begin combat. Okay, let's go Leyline Binding. Let's do blue-white. Leave up the Mystic Gate. The nice thing is, even with the extra land type, since we're only 2 color, you know, you don't have to be super careful about which Alright, let's, they don't have any white, so I think we can safely reprieve this here. And then we can handle it on the following turn. I'd like to just draw through my deck, hit some more lands. And, you know, well, I guess, you know, they only have the 4th land type, which is unfortunate for them. Otherwise, we could have just countered it, but here we get to exile it. Interesting, the Wild Nikado, they're really stuck on lands here. Okay, nice. We hit a land now. Probably want to chump block with a shark and then hold up counterspell for their binding. So again, I don't think I can do Resurgent Belief here. I think I just have to pass. I don't want to die to Tribal Flames, so. Now they could have removal for the shark anyway, but I guess I can counter that. Blue, white, white. Alright, cycle for 1. And here I'm just hoping to find another removal spell. And now if they cast their binding again, I can just counter it and still block. So I don't know what other removal. They could have a bolt. Dramoka's Command. Yeah, this is definitely a counter. And I don't want to have to deal with this still being in their hand. So hopefully they don't have another lands that they can't binding. Now we can just yield through the turn. Alright, another Shark Typhoon. So we could chump block the Nakatl again. Alright, so they don't have a land. Here, again, we could cycle Typhoon. I think I really feel like I just need to find, I don't want to be taking any damage here. But I could also theoretically Mending, go to 8, and then I'm still in Tribal Flames territory. I think I just gotta pass again. Okay, they hit the extra mana. That just means I can't reprieve. I think we're still doing this plan. I'd really rather just find an As Foretold. There's a Lay Claim. Block again. I mean, I feel in a pretty good position here. Territorial Kavu. Now, if I reprieve here, they do get to binding my binding. And get their other creature back. And I guess Kavu is probably better. It's tough. I think I need to draw cards. I'll reprieve it. They don't have to cast their other card. But either way, they're getting a creature, so this is fine. And if they want to hold it up, you know, I can just untap, and it looks like they do. So I'll still have a counterspell for it, which is great. Okay. Here's where I might have to act. And suspend Resurgent Belief. I don't think I can wait another turn. So let's suspend Resurgent Belief. Play the Lounge, and let's hold up Counterspell. Because if they want to end step this binding to put lethal in play, I gotta be able to counter it. And then just hope that they don't have a Tribal Flames. I would imagine that's what the play is here, and I will be countering this so as to not die. And yeah, hope they don't have bolt tribal or tribal flames. I won't yield yet just to make them think I might have removal up. Alright, go to 3. If we can untap, we do have mending to gain life. But we might just be dead here. Okay, there's the Kavu. Alright. Alright. We're not dead, but we do need to find something. Reprieve, mending. Alright. So here I want as much information as I can get. I need to find something. Go to 5. Bin. Lay claim. If I go to 7 off of a flashbacked one, I'm still dead. So I have to find something else. So let's bin lay claim Resurgent Belief, and let's cycle a lay claim. Okay, we didn't find anything, so that means we are dead. Unfortunately. Alright, they got us game 1. Okay, we got a Supreme Verdict for this kind of matchup. We probably just want extra removal, so let's bring in the Marches for their threats. I mean, Spreading Seas can cut them off of basic land types, which maybe is worth the slots, honestly. I don't think I need Graveyard Hate or Flusterstorms, so let's bring in the Spreading Seas. Maybe all 3 copies? Let's see. I want to cut... Definitely don't want to cut Dress Down. Maybe cut Starfield. Cut a couple cast outs. Light Claim should be really strong. Maybe cut an As Foretold. Just bring in 2 Spreading Seas. And... cut a Mending. Let's try that. We'll see if the Spreading Seas, you know, if I think they're worth it after this game, I'll leave them in. Otherwise, I'll probably take them back out. Okay. Alright. Game 2. Counterspell. We got some draws. It's a fine hand. No removal, though. But I should be able to find removal. I'm just going to keep. We got the counterspell for their turn 2 play. Got double Mystic Gate. So we do need to find maybe a fetch land to get the rest of our land types. Okay, they begin with 7-2. And because of that, we can just play basic planes and not worry about it. Windswept Heath. I do want to hold up Counterspell, but next turn we can Heath and get one of our Triomes. Now if we can stave off the early aggression using this Counterspell and hopefully some other interaction, we should be doing pretty good. Definitely countering the Kavu. Very strong threat, especially it has the graveyard exiling. Okay. Draw. Ooh, Dress Down. If they have another Kavu, we can handle that. All right, playing the Heath. Probably will Cycle Lay Claim, or we'll Dress Down if they have another Kavu. Alright, let's see what they got. Ragavan. Okay, not dashing it, so I'm not really worried about the Ragavan. Wonder if they're stuck on lands again. Zoo. Oh. No extra land. Okay. Well then, here we're gonna fetch the Triome we want, which is... Oh, we can't get the Grixis one. Well, we'll get the Savai. Cycle Lake Claim. And like I said, you want to do the cyclers first to get all your possible draws in before you mending. Because it's okay to just mending away some lands. Yeah, let's just play Island Go. Probably Dress down, you know, so the Ragavan can't steal a card off the top, and we don't want them getting a treasure since they're stuck on lands. Okay. Dress down. No treasure for you. I'm okay with taking the 2 damage. That is perfectly fine by me. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, they get the dress down anyway, so we are going to get hit by this Ragavan, unfortunately. Let's see what it hits. Plains. Okay, gotta remember we don't have all the basic plains. Yep. Let's do this. And now we can Spreading Seas, most likely what we're gonna do, and cut them off. Cut them off red-white, or I think they have more important red spells. They do have, well, they have a lot of green spells too. Let's just see what we draw. And looking at it in this position, I think the Spreading Seas probably aren't good enough, and I should just be playing more cast outs. Temple Garden. Alright, let's just hold up Reprieve / Mending. The Ragavan is going to be frustrating to handle at the moment. And that's why we're going to Mending here. If I hit a removal spell, I probably want to fire that off. Ooh, got the Verdict. Alright, let's bin... We want green at some point, so let's bin Mystic Gate, Reprieve, and just hold the Verdict. So they get one more Ragavan hit, and hopefully this opens up the gate for them to... What do they hit this time? As foretold. I don't think they're casting that. Yeah, definitely here I want to see them cast some threats into this Supreme Verdict. If they don't, it's tough. I really don't want to just Verdict away the Ragavan. But it is, you know, ticking away at our life total. Thankfully, since this deck is so, like... I mean, it's a very weird deck, which means most of the cards in it, you can't really, Get the Hallowed Fountain. You can't really use them off the Ragavan hits, so we're not super in danger of Ragavan hitting something super important. The Leyline Binding is a bit of a problem. Okay, that's great. Now, here I do want to Shock, because then I can hold up Reprieve, and I can cast out the Ragavan. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright. Interesting, they have instants on the end step. Tear asunder the Spreading Seas. Yeah, that's okay. I don't want them having the Tear asunder in hand, and that's like the least bad thing they could be hitting here. Okay, let's cast out. I would like you to not have a Ragavan, thank you. Thank you very much. We could have a binding here, and they do. Reprieving it doesn't do much except draw me a card, but I don't know if they're going to cast any other spells, so we will do this. Soak up a bit of their mana. Another cast out. Okay, now we can yield. They'll snag that, and that'll stay in combat. Okay, so they have gotten me pretty far down with this Ragavan, which is not ideal. Good, got another land. Okay. They got 5 cards in hand. If they deploy a threat, we're definitely verdicting. I might just have to verdict anyway. Scion of Draco. Alright. Well, let's cast the Supreme Verdict. I'll take a 2 for 1. And we can hold up. Let's go white, white, blue. We'll just hold up Reprieve. Okay. Alright, gotta find the titular card. We gotta find a Resurgent Belief. Tribal Flames. Yeah, I better reprieve it. I don't want them to have double Tribal Flames here, and I cut them off of being able to have that. They might just recast it here, but then they give up their treasure, which I would like to see. And then if we can flashback Mending next turn and get ourselves out of another Tribal Flames territory. Draw. Alright, Island go. Here we're probably making a Shark. Shark plus Counterspell, I would imagine. We can make a 3/3 Shark. Okay, well they didn't cast anything, and they can't Tribal Flames at instant speed, so here we will just make the biggest Shark possible to have as much of a threat as possible. Ooh, you got double bolt? Oh, you don't have 2 red mana. Okay. Well, now we just really have to hold up these counter spells. They have Ragavan, which I would rather have a blocker for, so now I just need to play like this. Thankfully they only have that 1 red mana. Yeah, I gotta counter that. Veil of Summer. Counter Veil of Summer. Sheesh. You got another Veil. Reprieve. Oh, and I can't cast it. So here I'm dead if I don't hit a Reprieve, maybe, off the top of my library. So I gotta cycle here looking for something. It's unfortunate, I didn't know they played Reprieve. Alright. Well, Zoo got us. 0-2. Yeah, definitely a tough deck. We didn't really draw much of our good removal against them in either game. So, you know, just a tough, aggressive matchup, and probably is something to take note of for sideboard purposes, that these aggressive matchups probably are pretty hard for this deck. So that might need some more sideboard slots devoted to it. Okay, we're 1-2 right now. Headed into match 4. We're on the draw again. Unfortunately, losing a lot of die rolls. We do have a lot of soft interaction, which could be nice. We don't really have much else in this hand. It might be a mulligan. But I'm kind of just testing this deck. I think it's enough that I'll just keep it and try it out. Unfortunate though if they're about to have the turn 1 Ragavan. Interesting. Merfolk. So this could be a wizard's deck actually. That's what the red makes me think. So probably playing Flame of Anor. And it only affects non-token creatures. So, alright, we don't have any plays. We want maybe possibly double blue for next turn, but either way we want to prioritize white. So let's just do that. We're only going to have 3 land types here, so Leyline Binding isn't 1 mana yet. So probably facing a decent amount of removal and counter magic is my assumption. So I'm going to have to deal with this Mist Caller at some point to open the gate for some other removal. Right, there's the counter spell, so if it needs to be countered, I want double blue. So we'll shock in the breeding pool. I really hope they're proactive enough that I can start cashing in these reprieves. Because if they just stay in a holding pattern with this hand, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. Okay. Pass again. The mending helps. We'll probably fire that off at end of turn unless they give us a chance to reprieve something. So Flame of Anor. Okay. I mean, still drawing 2 cards, that makes me want to counter it. And I think I will. Unfortunately, I really don't want to reprieve this, you know, because then they just get to untap and cast it again. It's fun seeing more Flame of Anor decks, I think. I saw somebody had started playing it in Rhinos, which is kind of wild. I mean, this is the huge difference between being on the draw and the play. If I'm on the play, here I get to go, well, I guess I would have to have a 4th land, but, you know, there's a huge difference countering this on my end step versus reprieving it and then untapping and countering it. Oof, they got the Force. Pitching Subtlety. Okay, well, I know they play Subtlety. So they get to draw 2 cards. And they have the Mute Vault. That makes sense. Dang, another Mist Caller. These Mist Callers are just going to be picking away at me this game. Which is rather unfortunate. And being against a counterspell deck, I don't want to fire anything off on my turn to dig for a land. Because I really just want to... Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but I don't want that to get countered. So we're just going to pass. I'll reprieve if I have to, but otherwise I really need to Faithful Mending here. Probably tells me they don't have another Flame of Anor. 4 cards. I'm on an 8 turn. Well, no, if they activate Mute Vault, it's fewer turns, but looks like they want the mana. Okay. They are running low on resources. Let's see if this resolves. And to even resolve something, we're probably going to have to be prepared to get in a counterfight, which means I really need to hit land drops here. Big time. Okay, looks like they're going to counter it. Maybe hardcast Force? That would be unfortunate to... Okay. Oh, they're just drawing 2 cards in response. Okay. Don't love to see it, but glad that this is resolving. Alright, let's pitch one of my As Fortolds and a Reprieve. I think I'd rather get the cycle out of this lay claim. So it's on top. Now we can hold up some more interaction. And in fact, now we can fetch, get the Triome, and then we can Reprieve plus Binding. So we can get rid of one of these Mist Callers. Unless they play something else. And because of that, I don't really care about the 1 damage, so I'll probably wait until end step to do this. Yeah, I'm really not sure what else their deck plays. Saw the Subtlety, which does not apply against us, right? It's creature or planeswalker. Yep. So they'll probably cut those. Okay, fire up the Mutavault. I'll take the 4. Okay, let's get our extra basics. And let's try to binding one of these Mist Callers. Okay, and they didn't want to interact, so we'll cycle another lay claim. Okay. Pass the turn again. Here we can theoretically Faithful Mending, end step, plus Reprieve something. They do still have us on a clock, especially with this Mutavault, which is rather unfortunate. We gotta find something. Okay, this means they have, wow, this means they got mana. And I want to preserve my life total, so we're just going to be getting basics from here on out. Silent. Okay. Let's fetch first. I want to thin the deck before I draw, because I would like to Reprieve this. Let's get a basic plains. Let's Reprieve it. Especially since we don't have removal. Oh, well, now we got removal. Which means I probably want to hold this other Reprieve for counterfight. If Violin resolves, we can just binding end step. If they want to recast it. Okay, they don't. Which means that we will... Honestly, I want the life right now, and I want to be mana efficient. Let's do the mending. Okay. Because they just wanted to resolve that. Alright, we got the Resurgent Belief with Reprieve backup, as long as their protection isn't like Spell Pierce. So let's bin Lay Claim Binding? Oh, well, we got the counter spell, so we can just fight it. Let's do Lay Claim Strand. We don't need the extra land at the moment. We can cast As Foretold plus Counterspell. And so let's go for it here, since we got the Lay Claim, double Lay Claim plus, yeah, double Lay Claim. Alright, we hit the extra land anyway. As Foretold. And we want to be able to leave up, yep. As Foretold. What do you think about As Foretold? And now if they just have no counter magic, this could be really, really good for us. Because we can take their Brineborn Cutthroat and the Mutavault. And then the Mistcaller won't matter. And then we can start growing the Brineborn Cutthroat. Wonderful. Alright, take you, take Mutavault, expand our threat base, and now we've got, we can hold up Binding plus Counterspell or Binding plus Reprieve. And casting them on their turn will get us counters on the Brineborn. So now I feel in a pretty decent position, 10 life. Okay, we're ahead on clock. This is feeling pretty good. They got lands galore. Okay. Should I counter it or reprieve it? We do have the binding regardless. Maybe I'd like to reprieve it. Let's try reprieving it and leave up the binding. Oh, I don't have double white. Okay, let's try to counter it then. Get a counter on the Cutthroat, and even if it resolves, I get to exile it with Leyline Binding. Okay. Interesting. I guess we kind of established that they didn't have a counterspell from last turn. Sweet. And now we just get to build these As Foretolds up to be able to cast our spells for free. Okay, we don't need the Resurgent Belief. Let's buy Kahira. I'd rather leave up the Mutavault. And now we can hold Reprieve, Leyline Binding. Let's get him with the Brineborn Cutthroat. Okay. Alright, now we are the ones with the clock. Opponent will probably start cashing in these Fiery Islets. I imagine that's what they're doing. Maybe not. Looks like they're casting something. Subtlety. Do I want to reprieve this? Yeah, I'd rather just slow them down. Let's just reprieve it. Okay. I don't mind taking one from the Mistcaller if they want to attack with it. Okay, now they're cashing in, so we know they have a Subtlety in hand. So they're probably going to hold that. Again, the Subtlety trigger doesn't matter. Okay. Alright, we got Otawara 2. That's pretty sweet. And here, honestly, I think here we boot up the Mutavault. and get in with that, and leave the Brineborn Cutthroat back for blocking. If they want a subtlety here, I can exile it. Okay. And next turn, the As Foretold will go to 3, which is why I'm holding the Kira. I can just cast it off of one of those next turn, which is pretty nice. Interesting to shot. They really must have a lot of mana to want to spend this turn. Tide Shaper. They're going to turn their own Mutavault into an island. That's okay. I can always exile the Tide Shaper or bounce it with the Otawara. So, yeah, okay. Turn the Mutavault off. Now they just have Solitude, one Unknown, and a Fiery Islet. Okay, no more Fire Islet. Subtlety, 2 Unknowns. And here, honestly, I think I just want to... Do I want to exile the Tide Shaper? Then they can Subtlety... I think I would like to be able to get in with the Mutavault. We can bounce their Subtlety. Or would you draw? Probably counter magic. Alright, they're gonna force it. Okay. Unfortunate that it gets exiled, but getting the Cutthroat out of blocking range is important. Alright, big draws. Starfield of Nyx. That's going to be pretty powerful. Let's cast this with an As Foretold. I can't hold up Activate Otawara plus cast Starfield of Nyx, so I think I'll just... oh, okay. Alright, they just concede. A lot of value there. Alright, it's Wizards. They're probably going to bring in some form of Graveyard Hate. They got creatures and counter magic, so Supreme Verdict I think here makes a lot of sense. They do have Mutavault, but I don't think Spreading Seas is really what I want to be doing. Bringing the Flusterstorms to more easily fight over resolving spells with them, and probably the Marches. Starfield may not be necessary. It's kind of clunky to tap out for this versus a counter magic deck. So cut that. Dress downs seem okay. I feel like they're not great versus this deck. And then maybe let's cut a Cast Out, Amending, and maybe a Reprieve. Since we're bringing in extra counter magic, let's do that. Reprieving is much worse when it's like counter magic and, you know, they can just recast it. Only one land. We do have the Cast Out to cycle, but they're beginning with 7. I don't want to get stuck with only one land. Oh, how about 0 lands? Alright, mulligan. I guess we'll keep. Don't really want to mulligan past this. Let's just keep all the interaction. Go to 2 lands. Hope we draw some action. Okay. At least we got a cycler that goes well in our graveyard. Okay, what are they casting? Silvergill, and they... Okay, so they do have a lot more. So this is basically Merfolk. I can't do anything about this. But I know they got the Hex Catcher in hand. That's going to be hard to deal with, so I hope to be able to counterspell that as Flash. Okay, let's get the... let's get the Xander's Lounge. We have like all blue cards in our hand, even though the Mystic Gate turns everything on. Another counterspell. If they, if they have Tide Shaper, I don't want to have to counter that and them turning Mystic Gate into an island when I have the non-blue land would be really brutal to the mana. Okay. They got their threat. Are you just going to go for the Hex Catcher? Another Silvergill. I really need to draw a card. But this is a clock. Alright. One is okay. The second Silvergill is... I don't want to have to deal with that. Alright, so we're playing against weird Merfolk wizards. It's interesting how many Merfolk are just wizards. That's so strange. Phew. Alright, got lucky. Hit the third land. Now we can fight over the Hex Catcher if we need to. Unfortunately, if I cycle Lay Claim on the end step, they might just go for the Hex Catcher. But I've got to advance my board state. We won game one, so it's not the worst if we lose this game. But I definitely need to start doing some stuff. Alright, hit a land. Really need to find some more card draw effects. And then we're going to need to get this Silvergill off the battlefield. And again, another problem with this deck that you can see is just that one threat kind of matters. So again, we really just gotta counter everything. Can't let them expand their threats at the moment. Going for the Hex Catcher, maybe? Another Silvergill. Sheesh. Yeah, I kind of just have to counter it again. That's how I feel. Unfortunately, this Flusterstorm now is kind of stuck in my hand, but they are down on the lands. So hopefully we can just weather the storm. But we'll find out. Resurgent Belief. Definitely time to suspend Resurgent Belief. Alright. Now we will have the Flusterstorm to fight over the Resurgent Belief, which is great. But right now we just got 2 Lay Claims, so hopefully they don't hit Graveyard Hate here. The Vidalian Hexcatcher is going to be quite troublesome. I would imagine... Oh, they go for Sviolin. Okay. Alright, now everything's got Ward 1, but Lay Claim doesn't target, so... Alright, go to 9, and next turn we're going to take 5, go to 4, and then just hope to turn the corner with this Resurgent Belief. Which means we'd like to see more counter magic, please. Okay, Shark Typhoon. Go to 1. Alright, play the Heath, pass the turn. Now we might want to cycle Shark Typhoon and chump something here. Maybe chump this Sviolin. It gets the card when it attacks, so we can't stop that from happening, but we can preserve our life total, which I think is going to be pretty important here. You draw a card. I'm going to fetch first. I don't want to draw another land. I want to draw interaction. Phew, they got 7 cards in hand. They really are just not hitting the lands, unfortunately, for them. Okay. Merfolk God. Okay, so Sviolin is not a wizard, but pretty much everybody else is. Wow, Vidalian Hexcatcher. What a card from Dominaria United for the Merfolk archetype. This is like Merfolk Light. It's very, very interesting deck. And now we'll give up Mystic Gate so we can be sure to be able to cast something if we want to. Just for one. And honestly, here maybe we should block Silvergill, slow down their threats, and I would want to gain control probably of Sviolin anyway, if I actually get to resolve this Resurgent Belief. And it'll take a creature off the battlefield for Vidalian Hexcatcher's ability. So draw a card, Binding. Alright. Let's move to declare blockers. Say okay. Alright. I might want to hold the Binding to make the Flusterstorm more powerful. I know they have the Hexcatcher. If I cast it now... I almost want to bait it, but I guess they're not gonna fall for the bait, huh? I want to have as much mana to pay for these as possible. So I think I just untap. Let's find out what happens. Depending on what else is in their hand, we may actually be able to resolve this. I'm gonna go to cast this because I want as many casts up as possible to turn on Flusterstorm. Counterspell. Okay, so if I respond now, it gets 2 copies, so counter it unless you pay 3. They can't pay, so they Vidalian Hexcatcher, but they can't counter all the Flusterstorm copies, and they can only point 2 of the Resurgent Belief. Alright, Flusterstorm, your counter spell. Pay blue. Okay. Same targets. Okay. And I don't think they're going to want to wipe their board with the Hexcatcher because it doesn't do anything. So unless they have another counter spell here, I think we should be good. So I'm just hoping they don't have like a mana leak or something. Alright, we got it. Alright, let's take their Sviolin and take their Mutavault. And yeah, pass the turn. All right, we're semi-stabilized. We got the Mutavault. We got a Binding, which will make us 6/6. So I think we should be able to just close this game out. Plus, cutting them off a land when they're low on land drops is really strong here. And now we get to draw cards, and this is indestructible. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. You have to have 2 other Merfolk. But I still get to draw cards when it attacks, so... Is it two other Merfolk? Okay. So even if I turn Mutavault into a creature, it's not gonna matter. Hexcatcher. Okay. Doesn't really matter at this point. Alright. I want to get in with the 6/6, so let's cast our Binding. Plus 2 mana. Okay. Make a 6/6. Hopefully exile your Hexcatcher. Alright. There we go. Alright. Got the win. 2-0 versus Blue-Red Merfolk Wizards. And again, you got to see the nicety of Leyline Binding instant speed making a 6/6, you know, as opposed to the other white removal in the format. Okay. Match 5, we're 2-2, won the die roll. That's awesome. Alright, ooh. Yeah, 1 land and it being colorless, we gotta mulligan this. Okay, this looks pretty alright. Now we could either bottom an interaction piece or the As Foretold and just plan on suspending the Resurgent Belief. Kind of a tough pick. I think I'd rather keep the interaction. I'm going to bottom the As Foretold. Nothing to do, turn 1. Play that tapped. Hope to reprieve something. Take us through the deck. Alright, let's see what we're up against. Teleria West. This could be Titan, in which case reprieve is probably going to be quite strong. Alright, let's play this. So, what are we most worried about from this deck? I'm not sure. We'll find out. If this is somehow the mirror match, okay, Amulet. I could reprieve it, or just hard counter it. I'd rather hard counter it because if they just have another land, they can just replay it, and that's probably the most important piece at the moment for them to have to ramp. I was going to say, especially if they just have a bounce land. They don't even get to just expand their mana. Alright, so they got Teleria West in hand. Alright, let's pass again. We can reprieve, or we can maybe cycle Shark Typhoon. I'd much rather cycle Shark Typhoon if I can here. Slayer's Stronghold. Alright, but I gotta stop the Dryad from coming down immediately. I just want to get a bit of tempo. Hope to hit a 4th land. Dress down. 4th land? Okay, no 4th land. Do I want to cycle now? I don't have interaction anyway. Well, I have a dress down. Never mind. I'm going to hold dress down. Oh, they didn't even play an extra land, though, off of the Dryad. That's strange. Maybe they just misclicked. That's possible. So if I dress down now, they won't get to play an extra land anyway. And if they don't have any lands, you know, I think we're doing just fine to begin with. Okay. Did have the extra land. Okay. Counterspell. Really need to hit another land. Next turn they can go land, Titan. That's pretty scary. Although not the end of the world. I really want to hit a land. I think we need to. We've been missing them for 2 turns now. Great. Lands. Let's bin. Alright, well we can't counterspell. Alright, so we just gotta hope for no Titan. Let's suspend Resurgent Belief. Alright, clock's ticking, Titan player. And now if they get a Titan in play, we might just be able to steal it, but gotta hope it doesn't come down this turn before we can have counterspell mana up. Okay, looks like we're safe. For now. What do they cast in here? One ring. Okay. It's definitely powerful. But thankfully they have really big spells, so we should just be able to counter what they cast next turn and then resolve this Resurgent Belief. Yeah, let's play Windswept Teeth. Want to get a Triome here to be able to turn on future Leyline Bindings. I don't think they play counterspells of any kind in the main deck. They could, and I don't know if they're going to have enough mana to like transmute Tulare West to get packed, even if they have it. So here we just gotta hope for no Cavern, I think. If we dodge the Cavern, I think we'll probably win this game. Probably need to steal their ring with the Lay Claim. Saga. Transmute, okay. Summoner's Pact. Slayer's Stronghold. Now if they packed this turn, okay, they got a Grazer. Okay, we can let that resolve. Comes into play tapped so that they can't get them a Cavern. Got a full hand. Alright, Rot Farm. What you bouncing? There's on some haste, that's fine. Okay, take 4. Okay, this is great. Now we can fetch, get a Triome, flashback the Mending to look for something else. And then we have counterspell backup just in case they happen to run Pact. The Triome, flashback, Mending. Now, I don't know what happens with Dress Down and Starfield of Nyx. I haven't had to deal with this yet. So this is either a time to experiment, but I don't know if it kills everything because they lose abilities or not. So I think I'd rather not discard it, and I can just play it on a future turn. I'm scared. I'm scared, and this is a league match, so we're just gonna do that. Alright. Cast that. I think I gotta Lay Claim the ring. That seems like the best idea. Ooh, good. Cast out is a great draw. Leyline Binding. Look at this. Great draws. Now we got a ring. And now we need to close the game out with our Sharks, which should be pretty easy, having a Leyline Binding. Next turn we might be able to just Starfield a Nyx and kill them. So let's see what they do. Alright, they play, okay, they've played both of their lands. The Pact, definitely you just let resolve because they don't have Cavern and they don't have any more lands to play. So interesting to play your lands there first, you know. Pact, resolves. What do you get? Primeval Titan. And even if they find Valakut, we can just exile their Dryad. We're in pretty good shape here, I think. Okay. And it's okay to, you know, it's possible I shouldn't have taken the ring because of the life loss, but being at 15 and having Shark Typhoon in play, I think I feel safe playing it like this. Transmute Teleria West. Okay. Now do they get... Oh, they get a Beseiju. Okay, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to cash... I'm going to have to wait for a Beseiju so that I make sure that I get the... Oh, no, never mind. They can't stop the triggers because it's on cast. I'm going to put 8 power in play. They're at 19. I only have 2 enchantments, so Starfield of Nyx is not going to turn stuff on. Beseiju, the Shark Typhoon. I will respond with the Leyline Binding. We won't get the 2/2 off the Shark. I have to pay an extra. Okay. Binding, make a 6/6. I'm okay not getting the 2/2 off the counterspell, but I need this 6/6. Alright, let's exile your Dryad. And now they've cashed in their Beseiju. This can resolve. Yes, I will use its effect. Let's leave this in. Let's get a Breeding Pool tapped. We don't need the extra mana. We're holding on to Cast Out for removal. Now, the Grazer does have Secret Reach. The One Ring. Dang, I guess I should have brought the mana in. I feel like I have to let this resolve because I need to be able to counterspell the Titan next turn. It is only 1 card, but they get protection. I think I just need to... I think I have to counter it. And hope to draw into some more interaction off of the 3 cards from the ring. Because I really need to put a pressure on their life total. Plus they cast Pact this turn, so... Now they did destroy the Shark Typhoon, so I can potentially Resurgent Belief get it back on a future turn. I'm going to have to fight through these Grazers though, unfortunately. Worst case scenario, they get the trigger off the Titan, but I still get to exile it with Cast Out. So not the worst, not the best. We got 4 draws. Okay, lose 3. Flooded Strand. Alright, what do we draw? Mendings. Might just want a Mending here, dig for interaction, which means I think I'll fetch first, get a basic island. Let's do 1 Mending, and we still have mana for Cast Out. Ooh. I have to pay for Pact next turn, but they still have the mana to cast Primeval Titan. So I can't quite go for everything yet, but I think I can bin Shark Typhoon plus this extra land. Okay. Definitely gotta put the clock on. Next turn we can cast Resurgent Belief. Okay, pass turn. Pay for your pact. It's probably going to be another long game, unfortunately. They're pretty low on resources. They're going to draw another card. And they got to decide what to do with their Saga. And again, they have the mana for Titan, so they're going to get the lands. Interesting. Okay, they're making a construct instead. I mean, I guess you get Amulet, and then you get to untap your land. So, they're going to have the mana... Oh, Expedition map. I'm getting very, very confused with some of these lines here, but I don't play Titan. And they don't have double green. So they can't. Okay, we might just have to exile their construct. But I can't really let the Titan attack. So maybe we just have to take 4. We could draw removal. Maybe here I'll Faithful Mending. Just gain some life, pad my life total. And... Alright, we didn't hit anything interesting. Next turn I might be able to just kill them, so I think I want to leave the Flooded Strand in hand. So let's discard you. And cast out. Okay, now I got a plan. Next turn, with the Flooded Strand, I can As Foretold Resurgent Belief plus cast Starfield of Nyx and turn on all of my enchantments, because then I'll have 1, 2... well, I'm going to reanimate... oh, but I'll reanimate Dress Down. Keep forgetting about Dress Down reanimation. Do we want to flashback Amending then? I think that means we do. Oh, Lay Claim. We can bin the extra As Foretold. Alright. Lose some life. This makes me probably not want to tick up anymore. Another Faithful Mending is good for this, but we're definitely just As Foretold. I get back the Lay Claim, my Shark Typhoons, and a Dress Down. And so Grazer... Oh, but I guess my Shark loses flying. It's okay. Cast. Okay, Lay Claim. Oh, they're just going to concede. Alright. Perfect. Love it. Alright. Spreading Seas are probably pretty decent in this matchup, turning off some of their bounce lands. Let's get the Marches in, bring those in for Amulets. I don't think we want to bring Flusterstorm in. So let's just bring in the Verdict to clean up some other stuff. Dress Downs are really good in this matchup. So let's ditch... maybe the Spreading Seas are only okay. Let's ditch an As Foretold. cast out Starfield. Again, unfortunate, maybe Starfield just isn't worth the slot, and you can just always win with Shark Typhoon, but it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, maybe the Spreading Seas just aren't worth it. Maybe like one is. That felt like a pretty good matchup. Maybe just don't need those. Cut a cast out. Cut the Starfield. Cut a As Foretold for these three. Let's try this. I think maybe Spreading Seas is just a trap. We got relevant cards in this matchup. Alright, Dress Down, Reprieve, Resurgent Belief, Leyline Binding. We don't have the land types for binding, but we got draws, so I think I keep. They're mulliganing down. We're up on time, so I think we're looking pretty good this game. We'll play Teleria West course first. The one tap land that isn't a Triome in the deck I think is okay, but I only want to run the one. Okay. Alright. My opponent might have a keepable 5. And they do. Do you have an Amulet? Maybe a Grazer, maybe an Amulet. Alright. Play you, yield. I mean, I'm happy to see no turn 2 Dryad. Yield back through. Alright, they're just bouncing. Okay, so now we get to leave up Reprieve or Dress Down. I want to save the Dress Down for if they go for a Titan turn, and you can just shut down everything. Definitely want to draw a card this turn with whatever we do. And everything that we can do, it draws us a card, so. Okay, they got Cavern, which makes the Reprieves in my hand so much better than counterspells. And that is what we're going to do. We know they have a land, so. Oops. Gotta tap this like that. Alright, just want to hit some lands here. Land? Land. And now we get to Reprieve again. If they're just going for that. Okay. And here, if we draw a cast out, I would like to be able to do that, so we're going to go blue, white. We're going to Reprieve here. Just in case we draw a cast out, we'll have the extra white mana since we have the 2 Mystic Gates. Okay. Don't draw it. Okay, maybe they'll bounce their Cavern, I would imagine. Which probably means they're turning Cavern to Giant. Love to hit another land. Okay, well now we have the counterspell, but we got 8 cards in hand, which means we just get to discard one of these, and I think it's going to be the Lay Claim, being probably the most important card to get in there. Alright, Cavern on Dryad again. So we can't do anything about that, but we can just Dress Down now. They can play another land. They can't cast a Titan. Maybe I should just let it resolve. I think here I'll just let it resolve. I want to get a 4th land and be able to hold up Counterspell plus Dress Down next turn. And this is on Dryad, so unless they bounce it again, they won't be able to make an uncounterable Titan. And here we can just make a 1/1 Shark. Hopefully hit a land in the next 2 draws. This especially at fetch land. No such luck. We can, as foretold, and just lay claim, steal their Dryad, but then they can just cast a Titan. So I think we just have to pass. Here I want to discard. I gotta go to cleanup again. I already have a binding and I can't cast them, but they would be nice to reanimate, so I'm gonna bin one of those. This would be a perfect turn for them to go for the Titan, and then I can just dress down, untap, as foretold, Resurgent Belief, steal their Titan. That would be a pretty sweet play, if that's what's gonna happen. And do I care about this 2 damage? I don't think I care about the shark. So maybe I'll just chump. At this point, the shark isn't super necessary. This just makes me think that they're not going for the Titan this turn, so probably just means we're going to stay in a holding pattern. I'll make another 1/1. And we'll just keep holding up the dress down. Hopefully get a land this cycle and be able to hold up dress down counterspell. Okay. So they seem to have a pretty slow hand, which is great since we're so stuck on lands at the moment. Alright, make another baby shark. I guess the 0/0 shark is the babiest of all sharks, if you think about it. Fun fact, if you didn't know, cycling Shark Typhoon for 0 does turn on Revolt for Fatal Push, because the 0/0 shark actually gets created and dies. I used to play a little bit of Sultai Reclamation. That was so fun to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, still no lands, so we're still in a holding pattern. But here we're just gonna pitch probably just the other lay claim. Hopefully they don't have Graveyard Hate. We'll have to counter it if they do. I don't know what Graveyard Hate Titan players play. Probably should be something I should know. Amulet, that's fine. I'm not going to counter any of their mana production here. They already have a bunch of mana. I want to interact with their threats. 1 ring. I can't binding right here, and they don't have mana to Titan after this, so I think this is when I gotta pull the trigger on the counterspell. We got 2 lay claims now. So, right, that's still only 4 mana. Oh, I guess they could theoretically... Wait, can they Titan here? Maybe I should have been paying attention better. Okay, looks like the answer is no. 3 cards in hand. Let's chump with the shark again. And hope we hit a land. Reprieve. Dang. So it's tough here. I can just go for the Resurgent Belief, get back 2 lay claims, 2 Shark Typhoons. I can steal their 2 bounce lands, and then they have 1, 2, but they can still just have a bounce land with the amulets. So I think I still just gotta pass here. It's unfortunate. I can march something by exiling cards with the 3rd mana. It's not exactly what I want to be doing. Another ring. Do they have 4 mana if I reprieve this? I mean, they didn't have Titan last turn, so I'm going to say double white, blue white, leave up a white in case we draw a cast out for the cycle. Wow, really are. Oh, it's a tapped land. I don't... Do I not want to march? Maybe I do want to march. pitching a Resurgent Belief, one of their amulets. I might want to save it for a ring though. Alright, we'll say okay. Alright, take 2 from this Dryad. I mean, at least we hit the 4th land. I'd love to draw an untapped land, but still nothing from them. Dress down. Again, I still don't want to pull the trigger. Now we have 3 land types. So we can cast the Leyline Binding if we need to. I'm more likely to want to dress down here though. Good thing we're up on time, putting pressure on the Titan player with the 9 minutes to push them to finish the game. And I think ring. I think I just have to let this resolve. I can exile it in response here so that they don't get the card. It's probably correct. Resolving a Titan killed me, but... Right, this costs 3? Yeah, okay, I think this is the correct... I think this is the correct play. So you can see that, you know, the downside of binding here, where we didn't really draw any basic land types, but, you know, it's okay. They have a Beseiju. I mean, I'll take, okay, Terrace Under. Worse, but, you know, it would have been nice. Okay. Sealed to the turn. They're about to go to a 4th card. Now might be the time where I pull the trigger on casting the Resurgent Belief. Oh shoot, do they also just have the Titan? We might just be dead here. I don't know why else you'd play Bounce Land. So maybe we should have been patient and just let the ring resolve and hold the dress down, but, you know. You learn from your mistakes. I'm not sure it's a mistake. It's hard to say. Okay, Bounce, Cavern, Elemental. Oh, do they have... They have that big creature? Endurance? Oh no! Well, that's what we get for not, you know, pulling the trigger earlier on that. Now we're kind of in a bit of trouble. Finally got 4 mana to dress. And again, like dress, you know, if they had just done that, we could have held up a dress down. Probably gonna lose this game. Okay, now we can get blue-green. Got 5 mana. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. Actually, I probably should have. Oh, in their upkeep. Hold up. Set stop. I might just want to turn off Dryad now. So I think I'm just gonna fetch. I'm just gonna get a basic. I want to preserve my life total here. Let's go dress down. I want to do this before they get a chance to play extra lands. And this will just turn off Titan altogether. Reprieve. Reprieve's nice to see. Unfortunately, the ring is really just going to pull them ahead in this game, I think. So we might have to go to a game 3. But I'm going to make them do it. Okay, what are they casting here? I'm not sure. Transmute. Okay. Alright, getting themselves a Summoner's Pact. Bounce Land does let them cast a Titan, but I have a Dress Down in play. Maybe they just want the Titan for next turn. Okay. Now this here kind of makes me want to march pitch Resurgent Belief on their end step to get rid of the ring. And I think that is what I'll do. I need to get that off the battlefield. Let's go March. You exile Resurgent Belief. Cast white, blue, colorless. X is 4. Done. It's funky casting March. Alright, get rid of your ring. I probably should have just, you know, thought ahead and done that on my turn to cut them off from those 2 cards. Swan Song. Okay, well, I get a 2/2. Weird. Alright, Hallowed Fountain. Jeez. Well, we can chump block one of these. I mean, hold up. We should. Hallowed Fountain. Do we need the extra mana? Dress Down, Reprieve. We might. We might. I don't want to cast As Foretold here. Also, just kind of, you know, they got to be able to kill me in the next 5 minutes on their clock, so I think it's okay to keep playing this game. They're taking a lot more game actions than me. Yeah, I mean, I do like this deck, but if you're looking to trying this deck, do know that these games take absolutely forever. I would imagine they'd be a bounce Cavern, play Cavern, name, you know, whatever creature type Primeval Titan is. I think Giant. Alright, Dryad, that's fine. Valakut. Well. Oh shoot, I think because of layers, Dryad gives the basic land types anyway. So I'm not even sure Dress Down helps me here, but I'm going to Dress Down anyway. Well, they had the extra. I get a Plains. Alright, draw the Xander's Lounge. Targeting me. Yeah, I might just be dead here from the Valakut triggers. Because they have... Maybe they have one more land drop? I mean, if they just cast Titan here, since I lost... Well, I get to reprieve it, but... Go to 2. Yeah, I guess unless I draw some kind of removal spell, I should just be dead here. Even if I get to reprieve whatever spell they're going to cast, because they can just go to combat. I block. Cast Pact, Titan, cast Titan. Let's reprieve this. Hopefully draw into something that means I'm not dead. Really unfortunate they had the removal for the Dress Down again. Oh, cast out. Still not good enough. We need something else. Another Pact. Wow. Dryad. Oh, and they have the extra land drop. Well, I could cycle a cast out and hit exactly Faithful Mending. I think I'm still dead to combat damage, but, you know, as I said, I'm going to play it out. Okay, now we'll concede. Okay, so after that, I mean, maybe because of Saga, we should bring in the Spreading Seas. Verdict not really looking like that should be in at all. Maybe cut the Verdict, bring in a Seas. Maybe cut another cast out, bring in another Spreading Seas. Just do 2 Seas. Let's try that. Alright, game 3. They got 3 minutes. We got Reprieve plus Binding and the mana to cast it, so we're going to keep. Okay. Start on the lounge. We can fetch Temple Garden, get all 5 types. Okay, I don't need this stop anymore. Like to see no turn 1 Amulet again. Alright, play the Heath go. I'd like to Reprieve here. But if not, I'll probably cycle Lake Claim. And looks like that's what although, Temple Garden, yes. Maybe I should just Mending. Gain some life. I think I'm fine with cycling the Lake Claim instead. It's kind of... Alright, clean up. Reorganize my hand a little bit. Okay. Well, alright, well, you know, beat the clock against Titan. We're able to get that extra win. So we went 3-2. That's pretty awesome. Love a positive record, and the deck is pretty sweet. Again, you know, even though Titan was really strong there, the deck still looked really good. I definitely made that misplay and should have not dealt with the ring and just, you know, held the dress down in case of endurance. And, you know, in the future I'll remember about endurance against Titan. Yeah, deck is sweet. It's really fun. Gotta love stealing your opponent's permanents, and Shark Typhoon is one of my probably top 5 favorite Magic cards to play with. But yeah, I've been Lazy Cat Lady. Thanks for watching if you made it this far with all these incredibly long matches, and I'll see you in another video.